Today is episode 6 of Coffee with Coach Caffey, and today we're going to talk about the quarterbacks. You know, I think that one of my strong points as a coach over the years has been developing good quarterbacks. The quarterbacks have been very successful in our programs, and that's pretty good. I think I've done well since I played left guard, but I've paid a lot of attention to the quarterback position. You know, we had a lady speak at in-service one year, and she said that the only thing worse than being the quarterback's wife and sitting in the bleachers is being the coach's wife and the quarterback's mama. And so, you know, both of them are high-pressure situations, and they get a lot of credit, but you get a lot of criticism too. But I've had some great kids play for me. I'm just going to kind of run down them and tell you what all they've done. First kid I had play quarterback was at Lubbock Christian High School, and his name was Paul Haley. Old Paul was a great option quarterback, ran the wishbone, and he led us to the state championship game, and we lost that game 10-8. And outstanding young man. Then I went to Arkansas. Had a young man named Kelly Garner. Kelly played the tuba in the band, I think, when I first got there, and so Kelly came out. We played him at nose guard first year or so, but then he ended up being outstanding option quarterback also out of the wishbone, and led us to the first winning season in Greene County Tech history. But after that, I went to Copperas Cove, and I learned a lot about coaching quarterbacks from Hal Mummy. But then my next head coaching job was at Claude High School. I had a young man that played for me there. His name was Bo Brown, and Bo passed for over 2,000 yards, was second team All-State, and he's the guy that led us from 0-24 to 7-3 and ranked 16th in state. So I moved a little bit up the road to White Deer High School, and Bubba Reed was a really good athlete, and he moved from running back his junior year to quarterback his senior year, and he also was second team All-State, and we won the district championship and went 8-2 and 1 with Bubba his senior season, and it was really good. Then I moved to McCamey. In McCamey, I had a great competitor at quarterback, Isaiah Navarrete. Isaiah, he turned McCamey's fortunes around. They hadn't won much in several years, and Isaiah took us. We were 7-3. We lost to the eventual state champion IRN Braves, and to the Stanton Buffaloes, and who won the state championship the following year. Had a very strong district out there. But Isaiah went on. He was all Permian Basin quarterback, and then he went on to play college football at McMurray, where he was a starting quarterback. Then the next job I took was at Anson, and the best quarterback I had there was John David Caffey. John David led us to the playoffs for the first time in 10 years, and one coach told me one time, said John David had carried us on his back to the playoffs, and I think that's true. And so he was a great running quarterback. And then I took a job as offensive coordinator in El Paso, and so I'll mention the quarterback I had out there was Dennis Joyner. And so when I went to El Paso, Socorro was ranked last in total offense in the El Paso area. And Dennis Joyner took us to the top offense in the city of El Paso. And he was all-city quarterback and went on to play college football at Friends University, and then later on at Sul-Ross. So after I left Socorro, I spent a little bit of time at Sul-Ross, and then I went out to Westbury Christian in Houston. Had really good turnaround there. We lost in the playoffs my third year there, but we made the playoffs, and that kind of started my playoff run. I've been in the playoffs nearly every year since then. But Jason Rice took the Westbury Christian Wildcats to the playoffs for the first time in school history. After I left Westbury Christian, I went to Spring Lake Earth, and had an exceptional quarterback, Blake Betts. And Blake was he led us to the by-district game as a sophomore. As a junior, we went to the regional finals, and then as a senior, he took us to the semifinals. And so he had a great career. He was all South Plains, and he was on the Texas football super team as an athlete. And we had over 6,000 yards of total offense Blake's senior year. Excuse me. And then, he went on to play for Mount Union. And then after I left Spring Lake Earth, I had an exceptional quarterback at Winters. My second year, Jimmy John Ripley was my quarterback, and old Jimmy John took us from 2-8 to 10-2, and we won the district championship. Of course, he was all district. He had several opportunities to play college football, decided not to, but old Jimmy John was probably the fastest quarterback that I ever coached. He was extremely fast. He was a pitcher on the baseball team, didn't run much track. And so then I came to Westbury Christian from Winters, and of course, we started the program down here. We had a young man named Jordan Johnson that was an exceptional athlete. Jordan quarterbacked us to the first 11-man team and took us to the playoffs that year. And he bless his heart, he had a bunch of freshmen out there playing with him, but he did a great job. Jordan was also a good basketball player, and he's the starting point guard for his college basketball team now. Then the next year at Brentwood, Blake Betts took over the quarterback spot. Blake Benton, excuse me, and too many Blakes. And so Blake Benton, and he had a good run, won 17 games in 2 years, and Blake was a really good outside linebacker also. He's at the Naval Academy now as a student. And so after that, then this past year, Sam Orrick was our quarterback, and Sam was he was special. He could run, he could throw. He was had all the qualities, and he was he was about 205 pounds and very strong. So Sam Orrick is going to play college football at Mary Hardin Baylor next year, and I think they can give him a chance to play quarterback. So you run down that list. Not only are they all special athletes, but they've been special people. They've been the leaders of their high school and the leaders of their team, and been the kind of people that folks want to root for. And that's kind of what I do when I'm trying to choose who I want to play at quarterback. I want to choose somebody that everybody can root for. I want to choose somebody that the kids in elementary school can look up to. And I think these young men have all been that. And so how do you choose a quarterback? One of the easy ways that I've done it over the years is you need to have somebody that's a good leader that everybody will rally around. And so we go out, and all you guys that have coached with me know we play Air Force football. And up until the last few years, I played quarterback when we go out there and play Air Force football. I play all-time quarterback, and the reason I want to do that is to get the ball in everybody's hand, and so I can evaluate what they can do. You know, of course, most of the time we've been an option football team, and so I want to, you know, and I don't have a good arm, so I throw a lot of hot routes, and so I throw it quickly. And the reason I do that is I want to see what they do after they get the ball. I throw the ball out there to them, and then I see if they can find somebody to get it to and make a quick decision. And somebody with some athletic ability. And so that's one of the ways I like to evaluate. I just get out there and see who's the playmaker, who everybody, you know, wants to have the ball in his hands. And so it's been a lot of fun. I do that game, and you know, I still remember back when I was at Lubbock Christian, those guys would get together and play Air Force football nearly every afternoon during the summer. And so they just enjoy the game, and it's a lot of fun. I always want to have a quarterback that is academically strong enough that stay eligible. There'd be no bigger tragedy than have your starting quarterback become ineligible. And I think many of these same qualities, if you were a basketball coach, you would look for that in your point guard also. You want somebody that you can count on. And I've always told our kids the greatest ability is dependability. And so you need somebody you can count on. There's been a few times that I've taken a kid that might not be the best athlete, but he can get the ball to the good athletes. Hal Mumme used to say, throw the ball to short to people that can run a long way. And so sometimes you take a kid that might be your best athlete, you move him out to wide out and throw the ball to him out there. And we've done that a time or two also. So it doesn't necessarily have to have great speed. It just has to be that guy that can make good decisions. And, you know, good decisions under pressure, because if you're going to throw the ball, they're going to blitz you. And so be able to get rid of the ball quick. And if you're going to run the option, you have to be able to make quick decisions. And so these guys have all been good at that. So, you know, we have quite a legacy of people, and I know many of you that have coached with me have heard me speak of these young men. I've told their stories many times, and I'm very proud of all of them. One of the things I wanted to do today, if any of you would like to reach out and ask some questions of me, or if you'd just like to catch up, well, my email address is stcaffey@hotmail.com, and I would be glad to hear from you. Today I wanted to talk to you about one other thing, and you know, I think us as coaches, we have a tendency to maybe worry a lot about things, and sometimes you know, we're never quite happy. And so I would like to encourage you to be happy. Look for the good things around you. You know, the Bible says rejoice in the Lord. I'll say again, rejoice. And so that's my daughter Meredith's favorite scripture, and she's my production manager on this deal. And so, but anyway, just be thankful today for what the Lord's given you, and be happy. Enjoy this time. The last few years of my coaching career, I would just walk out on the practice field and think, man, isn't it great to be able to come out here and coach today and be around these kids. And so it's been a great opportunity for me. The bonds and friendships we've formed have been great over the years, and so I pray God's blessing upon you today. Join in next week. Sorry this is a day late, but I was traveling yesterday and couldn't get it done. See you next week. Bye.